machine that has been here throughout. We're getting set for Game 5 here in Tel Aviv. Those are the games on tap. Still everything to play for the Ukraine and Georgia. We'll talk about that throughout the day. But mainly here, Germany and Lithuania playing for the top seed in Group B, moving on to Turkey. And here are the standings. 1 and 2, the winner will have the #1 seed and cross over with the #4 seed in Group A.
And it's a little bit of double bubble problem for Lithuania. If they manage to lose this game and Georgia win, then Georgia would actually get a finish above them because they'd both be on 3 and 2 and they'd have their head-to-head. So even though there's all this, we know 3 of the 4 that are going to go through, etc. There's still lots to permutate around this. And then obviously you look across at the other groups and you see the fact that Slovenia play France, and that could end up with a 3-way tie with Finland if they win. There's so many permutations that all you can be assured of is you're going to have a great game.
Absolutely.
And everyone wants to go out being #1, but so you then look at the 4th place team. Well, the 4th place team in Group A could be Poland or Greece. Well, Poland have been on the wrong end of a couple of close games and had great prep, and Greece in a one-off game. So your prize for coming first here could be playing a 2005 EuroBasket champion that's been a major force of European basketball that knows how to win one-off games.
Yeah, and that's why EuroBasket is so exciting, because there really isn't any days off. Let's talk about this matchup right here as we see Lithuania being introduced to the crowd. This has a feel of a knockout game already in the last game here in the group stage. Both teams obviously want to end up in a #1 seed, but mainly they're thinking more ahead. They want to end up on the podium and not have to face the Slovenias, the Frances, and the Spains down the line too early in the knockout stage. So this is important.
Well, it's very important. And the other thing that you got to take into account, especially if you're Lithuania, you lost opening night and you picked up some momentum. You don't want that to break. You know, even if you had to win ugly, you'd want to win because you're in a good place. Slightly different for Germany because they had the upset loss against the hosts. If you go and they got the win yesterday, and if you come out and get the win today, then you can put that one down to, oh, that was a crazy night in Tel Aviv. And they've got a nice way of playing. I think there's only, it's only Spain that's above them in terms of points against, as in fewest points against. This team plays defense because they're long everywhere on the floor. And so they've got a really nice attitude going defensively, which I think is what's going to be a real big factor for them against one of the best percentages team, field goal shooting percentages team in Lithuania.
It's going to be a real battle, defense versus offense. Always so tactical. We're paused now for the national anthems of Lithuania and Germany. phase. Intensity expected in this one. The #1 seed on the line here in Group B. Germany, Lithuania getting set to take battle here in Tel Aviv. Carl the game, Mark Clark on hand, and then we see the three men will have the task of keeping this game in check.
Well, we've seen these guys do a great job all tournaments so far, because a lot of these games have been very, very physical, very combative, and they've never lost control, and they just, you know, you don't really talk about them a lot, which is the way it should be with officials. We're going to look at the rosters coming up, and before we get into the rosters, though, this is like a home game for Lithuania. I mean, it's the early game, and this roster, there's not 9,000 people in this facility, but like it's literally green and yellow everywhere. Yeah. It's just an amazing. It must be amazing playing for a country that has that much support. Valanciunas at number 17 has been a phenomenal factor on the glass, a phenomenal factor with his energy. And in the last game, I think it was almost he arrived. He was so good. Kuzminska starts. This is a very big lineup that Lithuania put on the floor to reflect the fact that Germany are going to come out with size at the 3 spot. So it's great when you've got the opportunity to change. It's great. You've got to balance that against, well, this is about us, not really about the opposition. And this opposition, for a German team in a competition, has been consistent, and it's built that consistency on very, very solid defense. Coach made the point in the press conference the other day that Carsten Tada is really, the last game gave him the offensive balance that he's been looking for at the start of that game, and they start with the same lineup. And Bartel, who was at that press conference, got a lot of credit because he came through after perhaps some difficult times earlier in the tournament.
Right.
So this team's in a great place.
They sure are. These are two teams, you saw the rosters, they go deep into the bench as we take a look at who heads those rosters. Two guys that are now playing in the NBA, Schroeder and Valanciunas.
Well, it's just quality. You know, as you say, they're in the NBA. Schroeder's the second leading scorer in the tournament. Valanciunas is the second rebounder, and he's double-doubling in two of his games. So what more can Coach Adamaitis ask for from him? And like, as I said, he looks so active in the last game, so much more engaged. It's like, yeah, I've had my warm-up, I'm now really here for the tournament.
Lithuania started off with a heartbreaking loss by 2. Let's take a look at Coach Fleming and his bunch. They lost to Georgia, but now still have the opportunity of ending up in first place as we head to Istanbul, beating Israel, Italy, and the Ukraine in convincing fashion yesterday. Germany, on the other end, defeated the Ukraine, defeated Georgia, and lost that tough one to Israel here at home in front of a raucous crowd. But they were able to bounce back against Italy in the game that they needed, and it was a different style of game that they played all tournament long. It was a really a slow, I guess, knockout, drag-out fight in that one.
Absolutely. I think on top of all that performance and everything that you just mentioned, the real thing that was so impressive about Coach Fleming was in his response to some of the questions in the Israeli game. He didn't look for excuses. He was talking about what they can control. And I think that's it. They control the tempo of their practice. They can control how they work as a group. They control what they do around, you know, are we a team? The things they control, you can't actually fault anything they've tried to do. And he was quite upfront about players. Benzing didn't have a great game, so he said he's got to play better. Schroeder lost a bit of control. He said that was 2 years ago. That's not what he's been like now. So Fleming's got to take so much credit, and his staff, for how they've prepared this team.
Germany will be in the white uniforms, going from left to right on your screen. And the green team green and green machine Lithuania. The all green uni's going left to right. There's Fleming dapping up his coaching staff. Valanciunas and Bartel take the tip. Lithuania control. First place in Group B on the line right now. Both these two teams will be in Istanbul, but where will they land in the seedings? Valanciunas aggressive early. Voigtman doing a good job of staying on his feet. Inside Monty Eunice, the first 2 of the game.
Well, they get it where they want to get it. They get it to Valanciunas. He puts up a poor shot, and it was really very, very good defense by Voigtman. Kalanitis, as a big guard, just stays more active.
Tada provided an offensive spark to start against Italy. Voigtman for three, left that one short. No one able to stick a fork in it. Finally, Grigonis picks it up. As you mentioned, Lithuania has a real home crowd feel here in Tel Aviv. There are a ton of Lithuanian supporters, and they will be making noise all evening long. Grigonis for three, and the foul!
Well, Schroeder was a little lazy and one pass away from the ball. There you see him standing underneath the screen, then just has a little dab at it and really didn't affect the shot at all, but just left his hand in there. A little bit how he started against Italy, a little bit slow, he got caught under the screen, just a little lazy on the Kuzmiska screen, because he's not exactly the biggest screen to get around. There's a scouting report that says these guys shoot the ball, don't actually give them time to get set, and Dennis Schroeder was a little off that scouting report.
They found the three-point shot against the Ukraine, winning that one in blowout fashion. Bartel has been off from three. He seems to get back going here early on. That's his first three in a while. Cuts the lead in half. Valanciunas, just a monster on the offensive glass.
If he is inside the circle, I don't think you can keep, you got to keep him away from the circle. It's easy saying that sitting down here on the sidelines, but if you let him get in there, he's just going to outwork you.
Voigtman wide open for three.
The Germans don't have an out-and-out five. We've made that point before, so Valanciunas is going to have to get out on the perimeter because they're really stretched fours that are big, and they're really exploiting that at the moment.
Maniunas taking it all the way to the 10. How about that for the big man?
Tough move. Bartel's just got to do a better job. I mean, it's great first step, ripped it through, but Bartel wasn't ready at all.
Schroeder floater, yes. Good pace to start this one. An hour earlier locally here for the first game. We were wondering how that would affect both teams. It hasn't seemed to matter so far as Maniunas is taking it right to the teeth of the D.
Well, Maniunas is obviously an early in the day guy because he's definitely got up early.
Schroeder driving in. That's a good sign for Germany. When he puts his head down and he's effective getting to the 10, good things happen. Let's even White. Oh, that's his second foul early here. And he's just asked Chris Fleming to leave him in the game even when he has the two fouls. Let's see if coach trusts his star here.
What has he got?
He's claiming he was held by Grigonis. The foul is on him nonetheless. Keep an eye on that as we go along. Maniunas again attacking. A kick out, Kalanitis for three. In and out, Valanciunas with another offensive board. Fresh 14 for Lithuania. Kalanitis probing inside. Maniunas behind the back, too fancy there. Germany will push. Tada throws it up, and that's one of those borderline, whether or not it's an unsportsmanlike.
I don't think that's
it this time.
I don't think that's borderline. If that's a legitimate action to play the ball, I've been coaching the wrong game for a long while because he just turned his shoulders and ran into him.
See the last Schroeder drive. Grigonis is going to have a tough time staying in front of him. Kalanitis is watching Schroeder at the moment. Voigtman rolling hard. Valanciunas punched it away. Kalanitis the other way. Behind the back. Tada fouls him on the floor before they get going.
You've got to get beyond Valanciunas, haven't you? If he's actually with you, he's going to challenge you. And Voigtman never actually turned the corner and created enough of an angle.
Good recovery there by Jonas. There's going to be a lot asked of him, especially in this game, as you mentioned. More so stretch fours on the floor than your traditional 5. Kalnidas sets the puppies and goes. This is Kuzminskis. He'll step back behind the three-point line. Misses there. Grigonis picks it up. There were 3 jerseys around the ring that time. And once again, Lithuania crashing the glass. 6 points early on for Grigonis. Timeout on the floor. 4-point lead for Lithuania. The 1 seed on the line here in Group B.
Gotta say, I thought the Germans would do a better job on the glass because they've got a little bit of mobility advantage, you know, and they're just not getting in any early contact on the glass. They're just almost getting into a jumping competition. They've really got enough strength. They've really got enough foot speed to really hold space, and it's a little, and especially as Grigonis was the guy who then picks up the boards. It doesn't matter who you are, Dennis Schroeder or whoever, box your guy out, and then you'll get the rebound. But this Lithuanian team, they've gone hard to the glass. Kalnidas has got an offensive ball, Valanciunas has got 2, and then as we see Kalnidas getting the first one of the game now, and now Grigonis gets a putback. So it is a real tough ask to keep him there, but if you want to get the #1 seed, as you say, that's what you got to do.
As we take a look at some Moniunas highlights, he started off early on in this game. I believe he has 6 at the moment. He's averaging 5.5 per game. This is clearly his best start so far. Got to the team late. Obviously, tragedy struck in Houston. Prevented him from leaving and to being with his team, but he got here the day before tournament started. Didn't play much in game 1, has now started since, and seems to have found his legs here on match day 5 at the right time for Lithuania. Schroeder steps back, Voigtman left alone. Valanciunas recovers, 2 to shoot. Benzing throws it up, almost hits. And look at Voigtman skying for the boards. Now he'll put up the 3. Left it short. Bartel, Tada picks it up. Can't get it to go. Bartel inside, and the Germans are now clashing the boards.
Well, until they did this in half the first quarter, 0 rebounds. Then they get 3 in 1 possession. And it was a very un-German-like stat, 0 rebounds. But on that one, 3 in a row. Maybe it needs a little bit of a reminder from Coach Fleming to remind them who they are.
First free throw good by Danilo Bartel. Was at Bayern Munich last season, played 55 games, averaged 8 points, nearly 4 boards a game. Can shoot the 3. One of those weapons on the floor where everyone on the team right now can stroke the trifecta. How will Lithuania guard that throughout the game? That will be the question asked. It's Moniunas, he can shoot the 3 as well. Tada picks up the rebound, looks to push. In front of everybody is Bartel. Tie game.
Well, that's much more like it after the timeout. Get a stop, get a run, get offensive boards, all the sort of energy plays that they have been bringing to this tournament so far.
Kalnidas, Kuzminskis, right by Benzing.
Wow, he looked quick on that drive. First step he was gone. Benzing looked like he had his feet fixed in concrete.
Leading scorer on the team is Kuzminskis. Cashes in on his first 2. Schroeder, Tada, Voigtman, Benzing from the corner. Another offensive board for Germany in the fresh 14. Schroeder, deep 3. No good. And Kuzminskis pulls it down. Kind of bailed out the defense there as you see the rebounding stats offensively, 5 apiece for both teams.
And until 2 minutes ago, it was 5-0. I mean, literally, they've just done 2 minutes of great work.
Valanciunas flies in for the flush there. back to 4. Bartel will lift Moniunas and attack him, using the ring to prevent Moniunas from blocking it, and is able to get the layup. Active minutes for the last 2 minutes from Bartel now. Back to a 2-point lead. Now he has to guard Jonas Valanciunas. Doing a good job of staying on his feet, but no help. As Moniunas follows up and now has 8. Schroeder. And a foul! Just found a sweet spot in the D. Went high off the window there. Looks as though Lithuania is trying to force him to be more of a scorer, especially on those screen and roll situations. Schroeder has obliged so far. He has 23 points on average here in the group phase. Looking for number 7 in this game at the line. Knocks it down. Still playing with the 2 fouls that he picked up early. Here's Grigonis. Valanciunas screening for Grigonis, who launches a 3, no good. Tice, who just checked into the game, number 10 in white, pulls down his first board. Fiman laying the screen on Grigonis. Schroeder's shot no good. Kuzminskis on a defensive tie-up. Kuzminskis inside. Diamond picks up the foul. That's a shooting foul. I will see Kuzminskis go to the line for 2 shots.
Well, Kuzminskis, I'm a shooter, but like now when people get out on him, he backs them down. He's a little stronger than he's been in any time of his career. I'm sure Grigonis will want to have a word with Valanciunas about, did you not want to tell me there was a screen that was going to literally lay me out? Unusual for a Lithuanian team to get done with something like that, because they normally communicate very well. Jonas Valanciunas in the game, and we obviously not the broken nose we thought he might have, but a very sore one to say the least. It's great to see that it's not broken. It's just going to be a bit sore if anyone hits it, because he's one of the rocks, a foundation for this team. Normally a starter, but with a bigger lineup, they decided to go with Kuzminskis.
Mashulis took a shot to the nose in the game against Italy as Kuzminskis follows his own miss.
Someone shoots a free throw, no one boxes them out. The Germans are a little, even though they've had that good spell after the Fleming timeout, not quite where they've been so far in this tournament.
Steiger off the screen, launching the 3, no good. Kuzminskis vacuums it in. Grigonis in the corner, Mashulis for 3. 1 and done on that end for the Green Machine. Here's Lowe, who just replaced Dennis Schroeder. Pulls up, left it short. There's a foul behind. It was a hold as Thyman was setting the screen. Mashulis is sets with his first personal. Steiger in the corner. Steps back, takes a 3. In and out. Valanciunas plucks that out of the air. Minute 35 to go here in the first quarter. 4-point game. Number 1 seed here to Group B on the line. Kuzminskis takes the 3. Tada pulls it down. Tada fumbling the rock. Crowd wanted a discontinued dribble. They won't get it. Here's Lowe on the Thyman screen. Lowe for 3. In and out. It's halfway down. Thyman set some strong screens since entering the game. Number 32 in white. Lithuania definitely feeling him. Here's Valanciunas feeling for Thyman now. Kicks it out. Steiger got his hand on it and picks it off. 40 seconds to go till the First quarter break. Stagger steps into a three. No good. He hasn't been bashful since he came in the game.
Well, his whole game is about shooting the three. It's just he's probably having his worst EuroBasket ever. He's literally at 10%.
Kuzminskis down low, tapping, working with Valanciunas. They can't get it to go. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Shot clock turned off. Germany can hold for the final shot. And they'll do just that. Lowe waiting for the Thyman screen. Lowe finds himself free. Now crossing over in the lane. Out is Stagger for three. In and out. Thyman on the offensive board. Can't get the tip to go. And that's how we'll end the first quarter. The number one seed in Group B on the line. Lithuania up 23-19 here after one.
Well, these stats, 45% from Germany on the inside. They're going to be a little bit disappointed, not as much as they are with a 2 from 12. Lithuania haven't lit it up, but we've seen Lithuania have some barren spells from the three-point line at times, and then pouring a few in a hurry. It's just picking up on people like Lukas Steiger. Even though he's 0 for 3 in this game, even though he's around 10% for the tournament from the three-point line, he's another example of Coach Fleming. Teams, everyone understands their role. There's no point in Lukas Steiger going on the floor unless he's going to shoot the three. And it's a little bit, make some, we might leave you. He will play defense, he's fairly hard-nosed, he's experienced. But he is literally, that's what he does. He's supposed to shoot the ball off those screens, he just hasn't got any rhythm going so far. And he knows that Fleming's going to give him a chance every game. So he doesn't back down from taking it, and that's, again, role definition within this team. It's so a positive factor on this team that people come in because they know their role. And he hasn't whipped him out. He's gone a little smaller, a little quicker, see what reaction he gets out of that lineup. Because we've seen him do that. Look for the lineup that's going to work during the game. And at the same time, this is as small as Lithuania will ever go. So it's gone from being a game of some long guys to seeing some games of some quick guys, because this is a completely two different lineups completely.
Number one seed on the line here in Group B. Lithuania with the 4-point advantage after one. We said both these two teams go deep into the bench. We're seeing that right now. Akpinar, an offensive foul on Tice, setting that screen. And then leaving with an extra push on his way off. See it here.
Didn't really see a lot, to be fair. I thought he was calling for the hold as he rolled.
Schulis falling away, hits.
That's where Machulis has made his career. He's not really, he's an okay three-point shooter, but bullying and oversized in the block. He's just a great finisher.
There's Lowe. Doesn't always look for a shot, but if it's there, he'll take it, just like there, and knocks down a three.
On cue, you cued him up. Because I think he looks really nice when he comes off that screen. If you don't respect him, he will shoot it, and he looks pretty smooth.
He has 6 early on. Kevicius in the corner, Grigonis, jab step, now attacking inside. Udaitis gets fouled, he'll go to the line for 2. That's Lowe's first, as we take a look at his last three-pointer. They go into the screen, they're gonna pay the price with him all game long.
Oh, absolutely. Because when you give him that time, you gotta look at Machulis' step back, because he's got a little size on Steiger, he won't be able to get a hand up. The only time he struggled, to actually complete plays, if you make him go a little quick, you sometimes get out of rhythm. But when he comes down and you give him time, and if you go underneath, he's got to shoot that shot. Otherwise, people will go underneath him all day. Make the point again. These guys get a workout. This crowd is just, they don't just cheer when they're saying great. They're at it the whole game.
They absolutely are. See pictures of them there.
They all dress formally for the game as well. It's like loving that bow tie.
Don't be surprised if you see the majority of them down in Istanbul.
Oh, there are no flight spaces.
Yeah.
And their numbers will probably swell because there'll be guys coming from Lithuania.
And they expect to be standing on the podium at some point. Silver medalist from the last EuroBasket. Nice, lost control of it there. Nice defense by Kuzminskis. Oh, the call's reversed. The call is reversed. German basketball. They say last touch by Lithuania.
Well, and to be fair, Coach Fleming made the point about it, but the official at the top near the table there just pointed to the guy on the baseline. Well, it's his call. And he just realized he pointed the wrong way, I think, and he got it wrong.
No debate about that one. That one is still German basketball, 8 on the shot clock.
You know, and if you've got it wrong, I think a referee gains a lot of respect if he says, yeah, okay, I got it wrong. Obviously, there are times, doesn't matter what you think, he's definitely going to be not calling it the way you want, but situations like that, I think it enhances the relationship between player and referee.
Akpinar using the Feynman screen for 3. Feynman above everybody, puts it back up and in, and the foul. He's giving them good minutes off the bench.
Well, the second game running, because he came in last time for the first time of extended minutes and just did stuff like this, where he was just active, good athlete. No one put a body on. Look, he's in space. Everybody in a green shirt is in the charge circle. He just was so active. Great work.
And the bench appreciating it. Those pictures tell you a lot when the starters are just as excited for the guys who come in off the bench to provide and do work, because there's some teams where that ego won't allow you to celebrate someone else who's taking your minutes. Can't complete the three-point play. Kelnidis using the screen. Kuzminskis back to Kelnidis. That's a 2, and he hits. Back to 5 is the lead. Heckman into the game now for Germany. Threw it over the head of Dice.
I think one of those scenarios where Patrick Heckman says, I'm going to make that pass regardless of whether it's there, because the pass was never there, as we see. Nice little two-man play, really, between Kuzminskis and Kelnidis. A little give and pop out. This is the most active I think we've seen Monteunice, and he's come back. He hasn't actually, previous to this, hasn't really come back in the first half after starting. Been very active today.
Kelnidis on the floater. 2 buckets in a row now for him. Low. They go under the screen again. That time he elected not to shoot. Now he drives. Almost throws it away. Heckman goes in the backcourt to save it. 10 on the shot clock. Novice watching him. Lyman set the screen and rolls. Left it short on the finger roll.
That big glass thing, use that. Stick it on the glass, bank it in.
Gudaitis. Foul on the floor as he was trying to get around Heckman.
This is the advantage that Lithuania have over a lot of teams. Gudaitis, who's averaging 12 and 9 across his season, and that'll be not just in the Lithuanian league. They'll play VTB, they'll play in Europe Cup as well. He's the 3rd, 4th big, and that just shows you the depth they have. They just keep coming at you, and they're just relentless in the way that they play.
31-24, 7:16 to go. Lithuania in front as a timeout on the floor. And we'll listen into Coach Fleming's huddle.
Oh, that's a nice stat for Lithuania, converting those offensive rebounds into points. And a lot of that's Valanciunas, because it may take him 2 or 3 to keep it alive, but ultimately he'll stay with it and get the putback. There's a replay of that little, it's the reverse of a give and go. He gives and steps out, and then he goes with this little floater because he's waiting to see if anyone comes to help, because Valanciunas took a big space up on this roll. Took a number of people he draws, nowhere to go inside, so he does the nice job with a floater. And Valanciunas, I think, in many ways, is probably having one of his best ever EuroBaskets. He's had to lead this team from the point, and we identified they've lost some people from that spot. And he's had a very consistent set of games. So that really bodes well for the knockout stage.
He's averaging nearly 7 assists per game as well. And he's had to guard some tough guards. And this one, no easy task. I'm going to go up against Schroeder. Valanciunas continues the hot start. Double figures already for Valanciunas.
And we expected him to be effective. Obviously the disruption to his preparation didn't help, but he's ready to play right now.
Low, they go under the screen again. He makes the first 2, misses that one.
I was just about to ask, when does Schroeder come back? But Coach Fleming already has him on the substitutes bench seat.
Valanciunas inside, Gudaitis trying to keep his pivot, then forcing it up. Good defense there, swarming D by Germany. Here's Low. Voigtman. Akpinar with the diagonal cut, now clearing the lane as Voigtman goes to work. Finds Akpinar in the corner for 3, indeed. Timeout Lithuania. The 2 NBA stars will check back into the game after this break. Jonas Valanciunas and Dennis Schroeder. We have a 6-point game with 6:10 remaining here in the first half.
Akpinar's been tagged with a "you are a shooter" since he broke into the Bundesliga with when he had spent his time with Alba. He's going to go and play at Ulm next year, which I think is a good move for him, because he's going to be a leader on that team. Whereas in Alba, sometimes he gets lost with all the things that happen around a program that's got a profile like it has. I think it was a brave decision to pick him above, ahead of some more experienced players, but I think it really helps the balance. He comes in, he shoots the ball. They've got a very similar sort of feel. They've got that type of role with him and Lowe, and he's repaying some faith here. It's a nice performance by him so far.
52 games, he averaged 4.3, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Now you see him knocking down the trifecta from the corner. The guards of Germany have stepped up big in this tournament. So have the bigs. Young team. Average age, about 24 years of age. They're young.
Yeah, it's a great generation, isn't it? I mean, if you face Germany in the next, you've got World Cup qualifiers coming up, it doesn't matter that they lose people like, well, it matters they lose people like Schroeder with the NBA, but they've got some depth. They've got some players across the whole league. They're going to be a tough ask for anyone who matches up with them.
Valanciunas. Valanciunas behind the back. Yilnavas on the drive. Foul call. We're going to call it on Heckman.
Well, Valanciunas is out there enjoying himself now. And, they're going to enjoy him in China if he comes out with this sort of energy week in, week out.
Going to the Shandong Golden Stars of the Chinese League after playing or appearing in uniform for the Pelicans last season of the NBA. First free throw was good. We see the routine that has been now made famous by the Green Machine during free throws. Seems to work.
Well, I think they're either first or second. They're right up there in the top 3 of free throw percentage. As are Germany. These teams don't miss many.
Schroeder. Being really physical with Schroeder. Now turns the corner. Can't get it to go. Valanciunas. Remember Schroeder playing with the 2 fouls. Valanciunas was hacked by Voigtman. Voigtman was not going to allow him to get an easy 2 there. got his money's worth.
Dangerous time for Germany is because they're down 8 and Valanciunas is back. And they're pretty close to going back with a lineup that Coach Adamatis thought would be the lineup to use. It's definitely the same balance with the two bigs. What he hasn't got is the big three. And it'd be interesting to see if he goes back to that now that Benzing. That's the first time Benzing comes back. He's played the first 5 minutes and now he's just come back for the last 5 and actually knocked down a 3 early. Looks a little bit more upbeat, up-tempo, sharper than he's looked in the last game or so. I think it's the best German lineup when they put the Benzing 3 or 4. They're all interchangeable.
Ten-point game after the Valanciunas free throws. Germany already in the penalty here with plenty of time remaining in the first half. Akbanar. Voigtman sets the screen for Schroeder. Indeed, that's a 3. Here's his head coach in the NBA, Mike Budenholzer, taking in the action. Arrived for the last 3 games of the group phase. You'll Navas for 3, no good. Tice picks up the foul. I thought he did a good job of rebounding there.
I'm with you. There's going to be contact when you're trying to keep Valanciunas off the glass, both ways. Let's take a look.
Oh, I don't know.
That's just 2 guys in the air. I'm not really sure. Weiss in the last couple of games has been a little bit foul prone. He had to spend time on the loss.
A loss against Israel, a 2-point loss a couple games ago.
It's a game that Germany lost, isn't it? You know, as great as Israel were in the last 5 minutes of the game, it was there for Germany to win. They had lots of open looks in the end of the game, couldn't knock a shot down. Schroeder got a little bit into it with the officials and I think lost a little focus.
He had picked up 4 fouls, including a tech. It was kind of playing on edge for the last little bit in the quarter. They were up 16 in the 4th and ended up losing by 2 as Schroeder with the floater. Not playing on edge right now. Quite confident, up to 12 points and counting. Monty Eunice continues the hot streak.
Wow.
Showed the good footwork and then the soft touch. Voigtman flying by as Valanciunas. Voigtman to the 10. Taking a hit and finishing. It's a 6-point game. Lithuania wants to talk. 4:04 remaining in the first quarter as we see Voigtman going to the basket on that last play.
And the physicality of having Monty Eunice active alongside Valanciunas gives this Lithuanian team a fairly scary look on the inside because, you know, Voigtman just blew past Valanciunas, but then he's going up against Monty Eunice on the help. So this is a typical Lithuanian situation. As this tournament develops, they get better and better. Players start getting better. They're in the system much more. They're comfortable with each other. You know, the Germans are telling you how far they have progressed because they're hanging around here. They're doing a nice job. You know, 50%. They're just got to start knocking down more threes when they're open. And you're looking at the game being absolutely even.
There's the last 3 they knocked down from Schroeder. They're at 29% from 3-point range, but they've also taken 17 attempts here in the first half.
And that 29% is going up. Don't forget, it was like just 1 from 11 or whatever it was at the end of the first. So it's recovering, I think, is the way to word it.
Four minutes to go till half. The #1 seed on the line here in Group B. Lithuania coming in off a 3-game winning streak, trying to continue and keep it going. Germany dropped the ball against Israel, bounced back against Italy to allow themselves an opportunity at going in to Istanbul with the #1 seed. A rebound there pulled down by Hartenstein, who had a nice game in their win.
Wow.
Their second win, and that's Schroeder just blowing by everybody.
Grigonis, I don't know if it was a breaker, an ankle breaker or whatever it was, but he ended up on his backside trying to defend Schroeder that time.
Hartenstein played well against Georgia. Out of necessity almost. There was foul trouble by the bigs, and he came in and provided the energy off the bench. Grigonis stopping the flow there.
And you're okay with that foul by Grigonis because he's in front, he's in stance. He knew what he was doing, but you can't call, that's not an unsportsmanlike foul.
Right.
But when you come from behind or the side, you are really leaving yourself open to that call.
At the last replay of Schroeder blowing right by Lithuanian D. Navas on the bench, you saw a picture of him. They put different bodies on Schroeder so far. Use size, they use quickness. Foul away from the basketball. Kalnidis will check out. Yuskevicius will check in, #7 in green. Valanciunas picked up his first foul on that last whistle. They get it into Hartenstein. He's in the corner. Schroeder trying to blow by Grigonis again, and does.
Yeah, the help's got to come soon and make him pass the basketball. 16 already.
Eunice here, looking to go inside the Valanciunas. Hartenstein wasn't even really guarding, he was just kind of holding him. Gets called for the foul. That will send Valanciunas back to the line. Schroeder knows that Grigonis cannot stay in front of him, and he's really attacking him on that dribble. First free throw good for Valanciunas, average close to 12 points, 10 rebounds a game for the Raptors of the NBA last season. A double-double in his last two. Well on his way to that mark in this game. Now has 9 points and 5 rebounds. There you see the big man, Arvydas Sabonis, Hall of Famer. In the last game, it seemed as though he got Valanciunas going a little bit. He was talking to him on the sideline. No one is getting Dennis Schroeder going. He's doing it all on his own. Another 3 ball for him. It's a 1-point game.
I'll say, I don't think there's a team, well, maybe Spain, but I don't think there's a team really that can just play him one-on-one. You've got to come up with a way of deciding how you're going to try and, as a team, defend him.
That's that look in his eye right now. Wants the ball on every possession. Hartenstein, he can hit the 3. Voigtman chases it down. It's going the other way. Here's that last 3 by Schroeder. Navas checks back into the game. Arias on the ball. Yuskevicius comes off the screen, picks it up. Offensive foul behind the play. Kuzminskis got tangled up with Voigtman. That's his first foul. Here's the replay.
I'm not sure who was doing what to me.
I didn't see much there. Germany can take the lead on this possession. Battle back here in this quarter. Voigtman, that pass too short for him. See Schroeder encouraging him to roll a little bit more. FaceTime there for Coach Fleming. This team has been solid defensively all tournament long. This is the most they've given up in the first half. It's Kevicius for three.
That's a much better job. You saw that White box out, and then Benzing went to get it. If there's a team with momentum going into the half, it really is the Germans.
Up top, Hartenstein pounding it home. Said they have to turn Schroeder into a passer. He finds Hartenstein on the roll there.
Well, the Lithuanians should be surprised about Hartenstein. That's Algiris. They should know all about it.
I don't know who touched it last, but it fell. They might give it to Kuzminskis. "25 seconds to go till half. Schroeder with 10 on the shot clock. Uses a Voigtman screen. Akpinar, that's a three. Way off.
Never really looked like he got his head on the target at all.
Shot clock turned off. Lithuania with a chance for the final shot here in the half. It's a three by Jaskevicius. Got the roll at the buzzer. He's made a habit of making those here as we go to breaks. The replay got it off in time, and the three will count. 47-43, Lithuania up in the half. Group B action, #1 seed on the line here at EuroBasket 2017.
Well, we said before we go look at the stats, we said they were playing at home. They definitely got a hometown ring on the run on the last three, and they've had a few of those across games. And you know, you take good shots, things will work for you. 68%, but they're struggling from beyond the arc. That even includes that last three. 6 from 20 for Germany. The rebound battle being won by Lithuania. And that was behind Germany not doing very well at the beginning of the game. Lithuania shared the balls with everyone else, already into double digits on the assists. At the end of the day, it's not like the Italy-Germany game. It was very, very tactical, very technical. It's almost a mix. A lot more freedom and flow in the half court, because that's the way that both teams are trying to play. But it's interesting to see as across tournaments when players come up with performances. This is Monty Eunice's day where he's bringing his game. You know, Germany with Benzing almost getting back to something like he was at the beginning of the tournament. It's Schroeder again though that's carrying them on the points and the scoring load. All right, it's a 4-point game. It's nicely balanced. It's too close to call.
Yeah, it's actually setting up for what should be a very exciting finish. Schroeder has it going. So does Monty Eunice. We'll see who can continue it in the second half. Lithuania up 4, 47-43. The #1 seed on the line here in Group B. We'll leave you with the highlights. back we are here at Tel Aviv Arena. Group B action here in the group phase, the final day, match day 5. But a big one here as the battle for the first seed in Group B is on the line. Lithuania lead 47-43 over Germany as we are minutes away from the second half. Carlin Gay, Mark Clark on hand, and we talked about it off air a little bit. It's been the game that Lithuania has played all tournament long. Not really quite sure what Germany can get out of this, but the fact that they're down 4 shows you that defense for them is the calling card.
Well, I think I love Lithuanian basketball because they play fairly. Everyone has an all-round game. They have different specialisms, but they can all play, and they come out and they move the ball, they shoot the three, all those things. I thought this German team had established that defense was going to be what they built their game on, but they've given up 47 points. I think they've kept teams under 60 most nights. They're not going to keep this team under 60 by any stretch of the imagination, so they're going to have to rely on Schroeder's offensive push. But at some point, they've got to make a statement defensively, and it's the wings more than anything else to me. The entry pass is too straightforward. That means they've got an angle to go to the post, and they're being beaten on penetration from spot 1 to 5 because Monty Eunice has taken it on the dribble in the same way Kalanides has got to the basket. So at some point, they have to guard their man, keep their man in front of them, and then make the pass tougher because everything's been a little bit. They've almost showed the Lithuanians too much respect, and then they've been worried about Valanciunas or they've been worried about whoever, and they just have not stamped on this game with their defense in the way that they have in every other game. Even the Israeli game, they built that 16-point lead on the fact that they just stopped Israel scoring for large chunks of time. Now, Benzin's an issue for him in terms of some matchups because he doesn't have great foot speed. So his matchup is always a stretch. But, you go right back to when Hardenstein turned it around for him when he came off the bench. It was his activity, his pass denial. So that's where I think they've got to base it. If they get that, they keep Lithuania, well, at this point, if they keep them under 75, they'll be doing well. Don't even think they'll do that. If they keep it at 80, they've got a chance.
Lithuania to start the ball here in the second half. Glad you're with us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Don't forget you can join us on social media with the conversation. Simply using the hashtag EuroBasket 2017. You can talk about that. Jonas Valanciunas jumper right there. A good sign for Lithuania. Voigtman on the turn. Kicks out Tada. They re-space the floor. Nice to go to work. Tried to get Monty Eunice up and over. Valanciunas did a good job of going and getting that off the rim to save 2.
That is ring protection, isn't it? Gee, that was in and out, and only out because he almost took it out of the cylinder.
Kuzminskis, that's an offensive foul. It's almost like he took the personal challenge that he was going to put his shoulder through Schroeder there.
He dipped it. He didn't have to dip it, did he?
That was, I'm going to make sure you feel me. And he did. Schroeder playing with 2 fouls, had to sit with the foul trouble. Voigtman straight on 3. No good. Look at Tada tracking that ball down. Now Voigtman will attack to the rim. Foul, he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Coach Fleming's bunch has generally played better after the break.
Yeah, you know what?
They've made the adjustments.
In-game adjustments. He's made them at timeouts. He's made them at halftime. Good activity from Tada straight out of it. It'd be interesting to see. They got the charge for after the good defense by Schroeder. So they're going to try to make a statement with their defense.
Voigtman goes to the line, converts. Lead is 4. Monty Eunice. Look for Valanciunas again. Tice watching him. come with a double, then reposts the Valanciunas. Deep position. Not going to stop him when he gets that deep.
They've got to help. They can't just let him pass out, reposition without putting more than one body on him.
Voigtman hands to Tada. Voigtman, the floater in the lane. He's making Valanciunas work defensively as Voigtman. 9 points here early on in the second half. Maniunas on the drive. Kick out, Grigonis. Slips inside of Maniunas. Valanciunas on the rebound. Gets it again. Puts it on the floor. Forces it up and in.
There are going to be players who are as good as him on it as Schroeder tries to take the three, but no one's better than him at that. He's strong enough, he's athletic enough, he's explosive enough. He's just an absolute handful on the glass. And it's about desire as well. In that situation, you got to want to play that way.
There he is on the catch. Ice on his back. They come with the double. Doesn't matter. Jonas Valanciunas starting to feel it here in the second half. Timeout Germany. 55-47, Lithuania in front.
Well, if there was a debate between him and Arvydas Sabonis during the last game, which there clearly was an interaction during the game, from that point on, he has been a different player. It's just that one there just summed it up. He called it. He wasn't rushed. Physically held his space. Great extension on the finish. He was just out of the top drawer. And if you add that, his desire, he's just phenomenal. Great performance by him.
Here you see these turnovers. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's listen to Coach Fleming. Missed it there, but you saw the intensity in that huddle.
And I think even that about Coach Fleming, there are times, yeah, you've got to get some information and teach and make changes. But that intensity it's there in practice when you watch them practice. Right. He knows when to push that button, and he normally gets the right response. The trouble is, a response here, like, well, he hasn't really got a body that can do to Valanciunas and match up. Because look, Schroeder's, you don't really want Schroeder, especially in his foul situation, coming over to help. But you can't play him one-on-one. He's the opposite end of the spectrum to Schroeder. You can't play Schroeder one-on-one in different areas of the floor. They've got to come up with a way of deciding how they're going to play him. And I just don't think one-on-one is the right one.
See what Germany runs out of the timeout. They go to attack Valanciunas. Voigtman can't hit. Another rebound for JV.
Played a little soft, didn't he? Got great position. Tried to avoid the contact as opposed to trying to power through it.
Doing a good job of denying the ball to Kuzminskis. Valanciunas shows the up fake. Hartenstein is into the game. Let's see if he can negate Valanciunas' energy. 2 to shoot, falling away. No good. Maybe Hartenstein's the answer for Germany. Tada. Schroeder crossing over, dancing. Stripped inside. Lithuania looking to run. Kuzminskis. Kalnitis for 3. Indeed. Danger time for Germany. They need a basket. Where does it come from? It's Voigtman. Maybe it comes from this man. Voigtman on the roll. Can't get it to go. The green machine looking to run. Kalnitis. He'll go to the line for 2.
Benzin tried for all he could to get back and try and take the chance. This is in transition. When they have you, they just literally go for the jugular. It's defense breaks it up, transition, they're not going to back it out, and then they get another stop straight at the hoop. When they have a chance to push, they almost instinctively know. They smell it. They almost know they've got a chance to push and break it open. Kalnitis makes these, and they're up 13. And it's going to be it's a very dangerous moment in this game for Germany right now. They've gone very passively to the basket and have come up with nothing. They haven't really executed very well. For the first time after a Fleming timeout, they haven't come out and made a change.
Well, the lead is 12. Schroeder crossing over in the lane, tried to fight Hartenstein. He does, foul, count it. That's sort of the energy he brought in the win against Georgia when they needed him, and here he is again, doing much of the same.
See, whereas on the other previous drives, people are trying to avoid Valanciunas. It wasn't the prettiest shot. We didn't try and go away from him. He went through that process and went up, and he gets rewarded.
Missed the free throw, but they pick it up with a Benzing rebound. Might end up in the Benzing three. It does.
Great response. Okay, they got a little lucky in some ways, but you got to take advantage of it. And Benzing knocks it down, and it was getting a bit worrying at 12. And all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, they're back to 7. There is a belief about this German team. There is a belief. The great thing about Adamatis as a coach is, hey, we had him. We're not letting him back right now. Take the time out. Let's just get back where we were.
5:33 to go in the third quarter. As you said, a 7-point game. Lithuanian timeout right now. Valanciunas already with a double-double. 17 and 10. You see Adamatis giving the instruction aggressively. Now time to teach.
Yeah. In whatever language you are, you're in that coaching thing, the use of your voice, like Adamatis there, it's like, I hate you, you're horrible, but hey, you're really good, I love you. Let's do this now, we're really good. It's a challenge, and you heard Fleming in the time before, there's a time. This isn't, now they're at the sharp end of this tournament. I know we're still in the group phase, but this is about these guys getting ready now. They have 2 days, I know they have a travel day. It's a 2-hour flight. It's an early start, but they're not playing tomorrow. They're not playing the day after, so they've got a little time to recover from this, regroup, look at who they've got to play, prepare. So this is where they want to finish on a high. They do not want to come out of here with a loss.
They do want to come out of here with the #1 seed. That would be so important going into the knockout stage. We said at the start of this game felt as though it was a knockout-style game for both these two teams. Hartenstein comes up with the steal. And he's running the floor. They missed it. Kuzminskas picks up the foul to prevent any easy opportunity.
So he's the first German they've found that has decided, I'm going to play him quick. I can't fight him. He's far too strong. I'm just going to try and play quick. I don't want him to get space on me. I'm not going to try and hold. I'm going to climb over the top. Gets a great hand on that denial. This is very similar to his impact in the game against Georgia, who just came in and just exploded in terms of effort.
Absolutely outworked Zaza Pachulia, the NBA champion. Wasn't afraid of who he was going up against. Here he is at the foul line, driving in on Valanciunas, finding it high off the glass. How about Hartenstein?
And every other German guy on that team said, hey, our baby is doing it. Our young guy's doing it.
19 years old. Youngest guy on the team. Kuzminskas blocked by Voigtman. Germany looking to run. Schroeder accelerating to the 10, can't hit. And Mashulis pulls it down. Kuzminskas back the other way, dancing on Voigtman, sliding along the baseline. Keeps his feet. Kelnita says, hey, let's slow it down. 10 on the shot clock. Valanciunas steps up to set the screen. Schroeder hounding Kelnitas. Floater way off. Doesn't matter because Big JV is there to clean up the mess. Benzing looking for Tata. They find Benzing. Showing Mashulis is back now. 5 to shoot. Benzing got him up in the air. Crafty move there by Benzing, earns himself 2 free throws. Mashulis' 3rd personal foul. See here, JV going back to work.
And as good as he is, there's another example where Voigtman tried to fight him for it. He didn't lose it, didn't just say, look, I'm going to go after it quicker than you. He's only going to be one winner if you're going to try and play him body for body. What a performance. He is becoming, he doesn't have to say anything, he's becoming the talisman here. Just by his effort, just by his performance, he's setting a different, the bar's just been raised on this Lithuanian team in this competition as he has increased his own performance. And look at the response he's got out of Montiunas today. Completely different guy.
Well, Montiunas now on the floor replacing him. Let's see if he can keep that energy up. Benzing knocks down both free throws. Schroeder out of the game for Germany. Low replacing him, number 4 and right on your screen. Kevicius on the ball right now. Just checking in, so both teams now going deep into the bench here in the third quarter. Gudaitis sets the screen. Mashulis inside, Gudaitis on Hartenstein. 5 to shoot on the clock. Kevicius got fouled and banks it in! Oh my goodness! 4-point play on the line. Coach Adamaitis smiling, saying, that's one of those no, 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 yes.
And he got lucky off the glass. It's that. But look at Lowe here. He just leaves his arm hanging in, which is where he got the contact. And even Machu, I said the other day, Machunas never changed the experience. Even he was smiling. And Adamaitis is smiling.
The game started an hour earlier here locally. The bank's still open. Business hours here in Tel Aviv. Couldn't complete the 4-point play. Benzing for 3. Can't get it to go. Tada slapped it to Hartenstein. When you work hard, sometimes the ball just finds you.
Yep, always get repaid for hard work. And Hartenstein 6 again. He's got him in a hurry. The whole pace picks up when he's in the game.
Montiunas, look at him spin inside. He traveled. I was gonna say, a big man's feet looking super light. He took an extra step. Well, Germany's done it all tournament long. As we see Hartenstein, they've closed quarters effectively and made sure that the damage hasn't been too insurmountable leading into the fourth quarter. They have 3 minutes here in the third to chip away at this lead. Number 1 seed in Group B on the line. Low. Ton of noise here being made by the green machine. Hartenstein driving on Gudaitis again. Now in double figures. Kevicius, Montiunas, Jusevicius inside, Montiunas, Gudaitis, that's blocked by Hartenstein! And the German support section on their feet that time. Benzing wanted to throw it to Hartenstein, and they get lucky there as Mashulis couldn't hang on. The effort by Hartenstein. All ball.
Wow. The big game in Lithuania is Litas and Zalgiris. Those two would have gone against each other. There'll be guys in this crowd who are cheering for Lithuania. If they win the game, we go, yeah, we were great. And look, the best player on their team was ours as well.
Low using Hartenstein's screen. Bartel just checked into the game. He has 2 to shoot. Does he know it? Can't get it off.
Great defense by Montiunas. He really does have quick feet for a guy his size. Germany just can't get over the hump. They get to 4, get to 6, and then something happens for Lithuania to open it again.
Oh, Gudaitis was a little out of control there. Had an easy 2 and blew it. Low, they go under the screen again. Can't make them pay. And the foul, is saved by Bartel.
This is where Fleming needs his balance in his scoring. Tada, who he highlighted after the game last time, has taken 1 shot. And there's no way this Lithuanian team is keying on him. He's not moving to great spots, or his team just aren't finding when he's open. And I think a lot of it is sometimes he doesn't move enough.
Well, won't be moving for a little while as he takes a seat on the bench. Akpinar replaces him.
And Akpinar at the same spot on the floor, I'm sure before long will move and get a shot up. And Tada is a very, very important part of this German team.
Kevicius for 3!
Wow.
Wow. 3 threes early on for Euskevicius. Heckman to Lowe. Hartenstein attacking JV again. Flips it up at the rim. JV kept it in bounds. Under a minute to go, 7-point lead, Lithuania. Euskevicius to Valanciunas. Heckman was too little underneath. And Valanciunas wanted the and one, but couldn't finish on the slam.
And they were just late. They were just late on the pretty bad breakdown because the pick and roll was pretty solid. They executed, but the Germans hadn't at all got underneath on the help side. So Valanciunas is wide open before Heckman gets there late. And I think Schroeder may have to go the whole fourth quarter. They just don't have enough potent threat to drag some help from Lithuania to open it up for other people who can knock down open shots, but they need Schroeder to initiate the opportunity.
Can't say enough about his free throw shooting this tournament. 6 of 7 from the line, looking for number 7 here today. Nine-point game. $40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Akpinar. Heckman. Bartel looking to attack. Hartenstein. Now 5 to shoot. It's Heckman. He's going to have to go. He does. The floater. Missed everything. Disjointed possession there for Germany.
It's great. Lithuania again stopped Schroeder getting it once he got rid of it. The Lithuanian defense, as far as being good, is also so smart.
Euskevicius. This side, Yilnavas for 3. Indeed! The lead is 12. As we take a look at the Yilnavas 3, Germany has one final quarter to dig themselves out of the 12-point hole. Can they do it? We'll find out on the other side of this break.
Those stats again. Lithuania have turned that three-point shooting up to 40%, 60% from the field. And you always expect it because Jonas is going to give them a lot on the inside. But the Germans just couldn't get over the hump. They got it to 4, got it to 6. Didn't always then make the best decision. But when the Lithuanians needed to, they just stopped Schroeder getting the ball back. And that's going to make such, and for all the great effort for Hartenstein, it really did bring some different level of tempo to that German defense. The Lithuanians are a machine. You're calling them the green machine, and that's the best description because, you know, the band at the tip is pushed. They don't even change. They might go up a gear, but they never get into reverse anyway, definitely. And this Valanciunas combination, which wouldn't have had a lot of time to gel in preparation, is starting to look very, very effective. And they're spending longer and longer and longer on the floor together as Coach Adamaitis realizes that could be a combination that really does form the basis of an assault on the podium.
21 and 12 for JV. Starts the fourth quarter. He got a very short rest in the third with the #1 seed on the line. Coach Adamaitis getting some extended minutes for him now. Schroeder dancing his way to the tin. The corner's Bartel. He touched it last. He'll go the other way. The last couple of possessions, Germany has had the opportunity to take the three, and they've been a little bit passive here.
They're waiting for someone else. That's what it's like. It's almost like, well, Dennis hasn't done it. And that's not been there. They've been taking those shots earlier in this competition.
There's the 5 for Lithuania on the floor. Moniunas. Schroeder strips it. And look out, he's on the run. Throws it up, thought he was going to get fouled. He didn't. And wasted a possession. You could see what he was trying to do there, but the whistle never came, and he actually never got hit.
In that situation, I'm sure he knew he was hit because he literally did try to convince that he was in the act of shooting. You might see it again because I don't think he was just faking it.
Novice, skip pass. Usavicius had that squirt through his hands. Fortunate bounce for him as it remains on this side of the floor with 13 on the shot clock. Still a 12-point game for Lithuania. Navas driving in, tough shot, can't hit. Look at them crash the boards. Moniunas had a couple taps at it, couldn't convert. Schroeder this time gets fouled. It's on the floor. No shot. Juskevicius picks up the foul, and he'll go back to the bench. So essentially the starters, except for Navas on the floor, as we see some of the emotion in the crowd. They know what's on the line here. That was a Valanciunas tip out. See how close that was. He saved 2 points. Bartel steps into a 3. Minute going by, you hear the Lithuanian support getting louder and louder in the background. Moniunas, he can hit this, and does. Lead is 15. Moniunas has 15 after his first three-pointer of the night. Schroeder, pull up 2, left it short, only green jerseys around.
They really did condense the space around him there. He had no space to play. 36 out of their 60 points out of Moniunas and Valanciunas. The rest of the tournament better watch out if those two start piling on those types of numbers.
Valanciunas wants it. He has 5 on the clock. Looks up, sees it, now goes to work. Driving in, can't get it to go. That's a violation. Tada will check back in. You challenged him to see if he can find open areas on the floor to create shots for himself. See if his movement offensively is a little bit better for the Germans. Mashulis checks in for Moniunas. So Lithuania going back to a little smaller lineup here. Here's Tada. Uses the Bartel screen. Almost threw it away. Schroeder, Tada open for 3. They need this. Chases it on. Kicks out. Hetman for 3. He thought he was hit. That was an air ball.
It was so far off. I gotta think he probably was. It was so far off.
Navas inside. Foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Tada will pick up his second foul.
Navas is one of those guys on this Lithuanian team that doesn't always get the attention. He was very successful with Valanciunas at age group level. That may explain it because obviously Valanciunas is getting the headlines. But he really does bring instant offense, instant energy. He's a little bit more explosive. Whereas Kaminskis always looks like he has all day, all night to get what he does. He looks so smooth. But obviously it's always all activity, makes good things happen. And as a lefty, just gives you a different problem as well.
Timeout on the floor. 17-point spread. Germany trying to battle back and grab that #1 seed.
Well, no points scored for 5 minutes. You know, they came out after the start of the period, you know, across the end of the last period, and they were right in it. They got it to 4, and they've just dried up completely. And I think when we were talking about it, they are really looking for someone else. Everybody's looking for someone else. It's just there's no one with someone else on their back. You know, there's no one called that. You've got to take responsibility, and you can't just wait for Schroeder to do it for you and create for you. And they've had looks. And until Tada took the ball 3, people were second-guessing themselves. And for Lithuania, this has been the most complete performance, even though they've had big wins, because you've got production out of Montejunis, both inside and outside. And it's almost, this is a game they don't need Kuzminskas to score in terms of knocking down threes. They have depth, talent, anything you want, and they also have an absolute desire. And when they have you down, they're going to keep pushing. And then Kalnitis will come back just to try and run the show.
We haven't seen much of Kuzminskas, as you alluded to. He's leading the team in scoring at 16 a game. But as we've seen throughout this tournament, Coach Adaminis is happy to go with the hot hand. And as I say that, Kuzminskas is getting up off the bench. Benzing for 3. Valanciunas with the rebound. Mashulis. Kalnitis. Offensive foul. They're going to call it on Valanciunas, saying that he held on his last screen attempt. Gudaitis will check in for Valanciunas. That's only Valanciunas' first foul. Check that second foul now. Second foul.
And for someone with his physicality and the way he rebounds outside his own space, he does a great job, because he would be prone at that size for referees to call him now and again for where it's just contact.
It's Voigtman trying to find Schroeder, and again a lot of green jerseys in the way of the rim.
And all he did, Voigtman, when he had the ball, was only look where Schroeder was. And when he made that pass, I think every green shirt had their feet in the keyway. Just moved the ball.
Mashulis. Dragonis. Kalnitis watched by Tada. 5 to shoot. Kalnitis crashing into the German D. Schroeder back the other way on the runway. Got tripped up. And goes crashing into the stanchion.
I'm not sure what contact there was, but Judas is trying to doesn't understand it. There was an immediate reaction from the Lithuanian bench. Let's take a look.
He tripped him unintentionally, but it looked as though maybe Schroeder tripped over his own too. Yeah, he did.
Well, I don't know. I think he caught him and kicked one of his legs into the back of the other one. Right at the, I think you're going to see it from here. It's the next one. There. Yeah. Just catches his leg and throws it the other way. Machunas might not have even felt it. It was that light, but it just put him off balance. And I think when they look at the replay, I think they'll acknowledge that there was a minimal contact, but when you're in the air, that's all you need.
Schroeder at the line for 2 free throws. Quiets the crowd momentarily with the first.
Yeah, Machunas still doesn't think he touched him.
A basketball player thinking he didn't commit a foul.
No, that's true, that's true.
Voigtman on the offensive glass. Schroeder with a head of steam. Yilmaz fouled him immediately. Lithuania don't want to put themselves into a penalty too early and allow Germany to score with the clock stopped here now. Still 6-10. We've seen bigger comebacks so far, especially in the 4th period, and Germany knows all about that. They were up 16 before losing by 2 to Israel.
And Coach Adamitis is not at all settling here. He sees the change of Steiger coming in, makes the change of the lineup, goes a little smaller.
Schroeder attacking. Nice layup, Dennis Schroeder.
Tough move, far side of the ring.
22 points. Kelnidis. Dragonis for three. Back iron. Look at the effort there by Jonas.
Every single time, every single possession. Jonas is always active. Gonna get a replay of that far side of the ring. A lot of hang time.
The English.
A little spin off the glass.
Navas now with 9 points, and he's been perfect from the line. 5:35 remaining in the game. #1 seed on the line. Lithuania trying to hang on here, get their 4th victory in a row after losing game 1 to Georgia. Foul on the floor, Kelnidis. Free throws the rest of the way now for Germany.
We know it's a 16-point margin, obviously, but this Lithuanian 16-point margin has been built on some very aggressive defense, very quick defense, and they're going to have to rein that in a little bit because, as you say, with good execution, the Germans will be at the free throw line. Obviously, they've got to make them, but it gives them a basis for the last 6 minutes to give them a chance to get this manageable. If they get it towards 10, then they've got a chance. And with Schroeder, anything's possible. You can get it to 10 in no time.
Notched on both free throws. Akpinar will check in for Steiger. Some pressure shown by Germany now. Looking to trap at the half-court line. Try to speed this game up. Gudaitis gives it away. Schroeder on the runway. Just like that, Coach Adamitis feels maybe momentum swinging in favor of those guys right there. The German fan base looking on, trying to stay alive. Timeout on the floor.
At any stage of the game, you can't hang a pass out there with someone like Schroeder. I mean, Gudaitis' pass from the baseline to the halfway line. Real loopy option, and Schroeder's just going to get a piece of that. And you're never out of the game when you've got instant offense, as they do have with Schroeder. It's a 12-point game. Get it to single digits. There's an eternity left in the game. There's still 5 minutes to go.
Says in a Crest Fleming's huddle right here with Germany. The last drive there by Schroeder. That is pretty.
Get a replay of the steal. He needs other guys to be ready to shoot, though, because this Lithuanian team will collapse to the middle. Valančiūnas comes back in. They don't want this to get messy. So Valančiūnas comes in to make sure they take care of business underneath the hoop. But the other guys have got to step up. There's no way Schroeder's going to do this on his own.
Again, the pressure shown by Germany. It's quite soft. Lithuania beats it that time. 5 minutes to go in the game. Can Lithuania close out this victory and hold on for the #1 seed here in Group B? Tada pulls down the rebound. Here's Schroeder. Probing, kicks out. Bensing. Voigtman. Tada on the curl. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Now, Bensing open for three. Indeed! Big time shot by Mr. Bensing.
It's the first time he's seen double digits for a couple of games, and what a great time to do it. 9 down, a stop here. Game on.
Said they had to get within single digits, so here they are. Skip pass, Mashulis for three. In and out, Navas, no one touched him. And he follows up.
Always outworks his opponent, always active. Rebounds from the weak side, no one boxes him out. Everyone's worried about Valanciunas, he takes advantage.
Benzing again, same spot, different result. The lead is 11. Time running out on Germany. Mashulis driving, floats it up. Benzing avoided the foul and grabs the rebound. Germany looking to push. Turnover, Kalnitis read it all the way. Schroeder trying to get back, won't get there in time.
I think there are people behind us in the stands who knew exactly where that. Benzing came down looking at where he was going to put it, and Kalnitis is just too smart and quick enough.
Tada. Voigtman. Akpinar on the drive, taking it right to the tin. Voigtman on the offensive glass, can't get it to go. Lithuanian supporters making noise now. They can sense it. Up 13 with 2:50 remaining in the game. Now you see the second chance points on screen in favor of Lithuania. JV down the lane. It's back to 15, and Coach Fleming wants to talk about it. 2:36 remaining in the game. Lithuania trying to hold on and punch their ticket as the #1 seed over to Istanbul.
Well, it's one of those, I don't think Coach Fleming's going to be too concerned about how he turns this into what happens after the game. He's got one shot at this. And it's not about Schroeder, it's about other guys stepping up. Benzing made the three, and all of a sudden that you felt they had the momentum. They just missed some shots. But he's going to walk out of this first round with his team in pretty decent shape. He just needs to finish the game positive. If that's good enough for the win, great. He's still going to be pushing for the win. He needs to come down, get a shot. He needs to get stops. And you expect him to run that little trap that we've seen earlier in the competition, where he goes with that quick guard lineup, tries to get the trap and plays the lanes.
See Valanciunas, who has been sensational today. Another double-double, his third in a row.
And while he's been being sensational, if there's a weakness in this German performance, it has been on the inside. The only guy that really has played to his level is Hartenstein, because he's actually played at the level he can. Others have been a little bit off the pace.
Down 15, Schroeder and the starters are on the bench. Akpinar, Tada, Hartenstein, Diamond, and Heckman are the 5 for Germany. Akpinar inside with Diamond. He provided good energy in the first. Had to wait a little bit to get his 2 points there, but finally cashes in. As we approach the 2-minute mark, you hear the Lithuanian supporters getting louder every possession. Kalnitis stepped out of bounds there.
Take anything in this situation, won't you? Amazing the number of guys who step out of bounds in those situations.
Kalnitis exits the game. Yusavicius back in. So is Yuskevicius. Here's Tada. You start and shine screen. Akpinar darting in. Heckman, 10 to shoot. Akpinar now will pull up, that's a 3. In and out. Mashulis with the board. Minute 35 in the game. Kevicius uses the Valanciunas screen. Mashulis. Valanciunas shows it, now pops it, and hits.
I think we can put this one in the book. I think 15 is going to be too many. And if Valanciunas is making jump shots, it's not going to be a great day at the office for the Germans.
Simon providing good energy. Coach Fleming probably conceded that a little while ago when he left his starters on the bench, but maybe looking for some effort from his bench players as Akpinar turns it over. A minute to go in the game. And the crowd rises here in Tel Aviv. Ashulas for three. Look at Valanciunas again on the glass. Well, the win here means Lithuania will be the #1 seed in Group B. They'll play the #4 seed from Group A as Valanciunas with another baby hook in the paint.
Well, then that'll be either Greece or Poland. You know, straightforward game later on in that group. They will play the winner of that game for a place in the quarterfinal. And you can't take either of those teams lightly, but that was a great performance by Lithuania. That was absolutely, I think, their best performance all round. They moved the ball, they shot the ball relatively well, but Valanciunas and Montejunas, amazing inside combination. They've got great contributions off the bench, and they've just got quality, and they really did ultimately manage and dominate a very good German team.
89-72 the final. Lithuania, the #1 seed in Group B.
Wow, these Lithuanian players just saluting these fans. And why should they? Should, because these fans have been on their feet most of the game. Make it feel like a home game. There'll be a number of Lithuanian expatriates here living in Israel. But there's a lot of travelers. And those stats tell you how good they were. Wasn't a great performance on the three-point line, but they'll take it. Real dominance on the glass in the end. 15 offensive rebounds for both teams. But like Lithuania took care of business at the defensive end off more German misses. 14 turnovers, that number is still slipping around that mid-teen margin for Lithuania. They'd like it to be lower. And the Lithuanian cheerleaders and the Lithuanian players getting together.
Getting together, and they'll be on a plane now to Istanbul. 27-15 for Jonas Valanciunas. The win means Lithuania locked down the #1 seed in Group B. Germany locked into the #2 seed in Group B. So all's not lost for them. They're still moving on to the round of 16, just have a little bit of a tougher road. And this is one of those games where they'll take a look at it and say, we were there at some points, but we do have a lot of work to do, especially now going forward to the knockout round.
Well, absolutely. They were there. They got it to 4. They came back and got it to 9. But they just didn't have enough to actually get over the margin and get close enough. But they've always got someone to go to. Normally this guy. But then like today, Kuzminska's only played 20 minutes in the game. Didn't have to do a lot, but was still good. Montejunas finds his form, which is the best story. And they're getting very, we talked about their backcourt maybe being a bit fragile. But it's turned out that they've actually managed to get confidence into those guys. So they're in a very, very good place. They're going to spend 2 days getting ready to play whoever wins that Greece-Poland game. They won't take anybody lightly. It's not Lithuanian basketball to take anyone lightly. And they'll be ready for that round of 16.
Still 2 games here for us in Tel Aviv. A big one coming up featuring Georgia and Italy. Italy is already locked in to go to Istanbul. Georgia trying to book their ticket. They could do that with a win. And then later on, Ukraine and Israel, the host Israel, looking to close things out here in grand fashion. And what has been, so far, an exciting Group B. We'll be back for those 2 games. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Lithuania, #1 here in Group B.